you so much. We are so humbled and happy to have a moment to celebrate what can happen, what is possible on the other side of loss, on the other side of trauma. Delaney and I met with my last film because we were both sexual assault survivors. And after the on-camera interview, which, as you can imagine, it was less of an interview and more of an on-camera therapy session for both of us, she shared an email with me that she had written where she said that she had never felt so seen. And I think that we have the power of doing that when we invite someone in who has also walked our walk. About a month later, she shared with me that she and her mom had been invited by the Department of Defense to deliver the victim statement at Guantanamo Bay. And it wasn't something that she felt comfortable deciding on because she never grew up a part of the community. And I said, well, I think we need to make a movie. So hang up with me and turn on your cell phone and tell me how you're feeling. You're about to see a first look of We Go Higher.
Unfortunately, I don't really remember much about my dad. My memory of him is really what other people have shared with me and what I've gathered from videos and photos. I'm one of 3,051 kids who lost a parent on 9/11. This box contains a bunch of things that have to do with my dad and with 9/11 and 2001, the year in general.
My dad's death has affected me in every aspect of my life, and I've felt alone for most of my life. And I'm starting to not feel as alone anymore.
I felt really lost, like after my dad died and, everything. I was just kind of searching the world for an outlet, a place that I fit, a place that I could express myself and be loved and feel love, and I kind of found it through art. 9/11, I was robbed. I was robbed of a beautiful man, He was a loving dude. And they gave me $258,000 for victim's compensation. There was pills around, so I just kept eating pills, snorting pills, smoking pills, and eventually I turned heroin, so I couldn't stop. I got arrested, went to Rikers Island, came home. That's when I went into rehab for the first time, so I wanted to get rid of the physical addiction. Hi, baby. Hi. But today, I am a changed person. I always used drugs because I had no father, right? Now I get to be a father. Let's do some art. So what do I do to really honor him and to have his spirit live on through me is try to be half the man he was. Treat everyone with kindness and just try to touch every single soul that I come in contact with and just make sure that they're having an all right day. Let them know that they can be okay.
After talking with Brian, one of the things that really came forward for me was asking the question of how am I going to give all of this pain a purpose? For my whole life, I've never been a part of this community. I want to change that.
Breaking news out of Orlando, Florida. Police say several people are dead after a
deadly incident at an arena in Manchester.
Douglas High School. Parkland consistently voted one of the safest communities in America.
I've realized that this community is a lot bigger than just the 9/11 kids.
The thing that's the most comforting in any of those situations is to know that you're not alone. I think that's the biggest thing that has ever kept me going, just because of the people that have surrounded me.
I too am a young person affected by a senseless act of violence that changed everything for my community. Community was everything for us in our healing. We are not defined by the horrible tragedy that happened to us, but by the path we choose from our own resilience. We stand by survivors and families of those lost in Newtown, Orlando, Las Vegas, Parkland, and countless more. Do for them now what you did for us then.
This is the first time that we've watched it with an audience, and I am feeling stoked.
Yeah.
We have been working on this film for 2 years. So let's talk about community, Delaney.
Okay. Hi.
Y'all, she's 20.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you to every single person that I've met so far. All of you guys are so kind and so welcoming, and everybody here is just here to support one another, and I think that's really special, so thank you so much. Community, okay. Before this film, I guess growing up in general, after 9/11, my mom immediately removed us from the city, and I was not a part of any 9/11 community. I didn't really know any other kids who lost parents, and growing up, that kind of felt a little bit alienating, and so yeah, so I didn't have a community, and even in my own home, I mean, me and my mom didn't really talk about it much because I didn't want to upset her, because she lost her husband, her brother, and her brother-in-law. So anytime, even my face, like even my eyes, I look exactly like my dad. Like if I would walk into a room, she would like start crying. So it was definitely difficult because I didn't really have that many people to relate to. And so when we started this film, it was incredible for the first time to hear from other people who've been going through what I was going through, and in them sharing their stories with me, they gave me the gift of the Me Too, and it was definitely it was just cathartic, and it was really beautiful and amazing. And unfortunately, as we were filming, and there was this mutual feeling on set with all of the 9/11 kids, as horrible things were happening around the world, and Las Vegas and Parkland and Manchester and Barcelona, we felt a connection to these people around the world that we didn't really know, but we didn't really know what to do, so we just started to reach out, and it became this huge global family of people who have lost loved ones or survived traumatic events, and we brought them all together in New York in July, and it was like the most amazing experience of my life. Because as my friend Katie Danahy says, who also lost her dad in 9/11, there's a huge difference between sympathy and empathy. And having people who get you and understand you is a crucial part of the healing process, at least it was for me. So yeah.
So when we started filming, we knew that, Delaney said, I want to go and meet people. And so we put some feelers out, and in a very short amount of time, we had 50 kids who said that they wanted to be filmed. And then after September 11th, and there was a little bit of press about the film, we had 90 kids sign up that wanted to be a part of it. And so that was when we decided that it was going to be a feature, but any kid that raised their hand, they would be filmed. So it's now a feature, and going to be a very, very large series of shorts. We've filmed 70 to date, and we have 30. We have 35 more that have raised their hand. But this summer, we were able to bring together survivors and surviving loved ones from September 11th, Sandy Hook, Orlando, Manchester, Las Vegas, and Parkland, all together in New York on set. And that is because Delaney raised her hand first. You want to talk for a second about sort of vulnerability and that journey for you and healing?
Yeah. Like I said before, I didn't talk much about 9/11 growing up. And so this film was my opportunity, I guess, to finally allow myself to feel all of those feelings that I put away for so long. And I was an athlete, and I was playing soccer, and I got recruited to go play at this place called IMG Academy, and it was like my life, and that's what I distracted myself with. And I remember every single coach telling me, like, they knew that I was having issues at home and stuff, and they would tell me, like, oh, as soon as you step across this line and you're on that field, you can forget about everything else. And I bought into that, and then it became my life. And so doing this film was like pressing play to like a pause button that I put on all of my feelings for the longest time. And it was hard, but it was really, really beautiful and necessary. And I'm just really grateful to Sara for allowing me to have that space. So thank you, yeah.
We have, I think that if there's one thing that we were talking to Nicole and Sophia about, and other Parkland families and other survivors, coming up, if you can believe it, we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And Delaney was just shy of 3 years old. But I have memories, and I know that most people in the room remember very vividly about that day. And what I really hope for our project, and from the bravery of Delaney and all of our other kids, is that on September the 11th, on the anniversary, that we can give it a new light. Because the kids are standing, and they are thriving, and they are brave, and they are using their voice, and they are activists. And if there's one thing that we have found very much in common with the Parkland family, is that there is a choice to be made. And I'm very inspired by Delaney and the voices who do, in fact, light a candle in the dark every day. So, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.